But anyways, this is what we're going to do. This is a Chelsea pump. This is the one that bolts to the transmission. I don't know if you guys can see the number there. There's probably can't see the number, but this is pretty much exactly the one that just about every one of them are all just basically about this same one here. This is a 180X is what this one here is, and I'm sure maybe it's not a 180. What is that? It could be a 680. I'll take in the description at the bottom there. I'll try to take and do something on that there. I'm trying to figure out which way I got to go. But anyways, it's still got a little bit of gear roll down inside there. We're going to take this thing all the way apart. We're going to clean it. I did get a gasket set for it over here. These over here, these are all the gaskets that'll go with that. Little seal here. This is the one that goes right here. That's that little gasket there. And the main thing we're going to do here is, like I said, we got to pull this apart. We got to get this get this shaft out, because that shaft there is about as bad as it was on the pump. So we're going to go ahead and pull it all apart here. And once we get it tore apart, we can take and put the new shaft in there. I got to find out where I deal with the new shaft and stuff. But let me get the tools set up here, guys. I got to drain some more oil out of there. And make sure you count how many gaskets you got here, because that's going to make your backlash from what you are. As long as you put about the same amount of gaskets on there, you should be just fine. But we'll spin it to make sure that everything is good to go on that end there. So let me get some tools. Let me drain the rest of this gear oil out of here from that transmission, and we'll start tearing this apart. This one bolt here was about to fall out. Okay. Should just pull right off here. Might have to hit it with a little hammer. That's where I got it. Come on out of there. Let me get my screwdriver. One gear in here, guys. You gotta move this one gear here over, just like that. You gotta put it in the lock position, or the whichever I should say, to where the PTO gears will be. So like if it was locked in PTO, and that's how it is right now, just lock it to where it would be locked in PTO, and you can kind of get it. You can finagle it from up and out of there. It might take a little bit, but just do it like that there, and it'll come right up and out of there. It was hanging up on the gasket. I'll just go ahead and set that over there. Just inspect that to make sure everything's good on that as well. This gasket here, like I said, we're going to clean it all up anyway, so it don't really matter. Like I said, I got a new rebuild kit for it anyways. Okay, so we got that there. So we'll go ahead here now. Pull this back cover off. Why is every time I mess with this shit, it tries to cut me? Man. There we go. just hanging up on that silicone. And it kind of sits inside of like a little, kind of sits up inside there. And there's a bearing on there. And like I said, here's your bearing, here's your race. But we're going to clean every bit of this up, guys. So it don't really matter. We'll just kind of lay everything over here to the side. And that there will just fall out of there. You don't have to take that front housing there off if you don't want to. But it kind of ate that up there pretty good. The only thing I don't think he gave me in the kit, and I think I should have got it, is I don't think I got no bearings in there. I should have had him give me some bearings, so I might have to wait until he send me some bearings. But these bearings here, they look pretty good shape, so I don't think I had no problems with them. But get the rest of these gaskets here off. And then another thing too, guys, you'll really be able to see down inside this housing here. You can really see what, if there was any metal in the transmission, more than likely it'll make its way to right here a lot of the times. Because this here's the last little bit of where everything's going to be at. This is going to be the last spot for it. So go ahead now. Like I said, we gotta get these gears here out. Let me find that shaft. Let me find them new parts that I had gotten for it. Here they are over here. Usually I get the new bearings and stuff. See, here's the brand new gear and all that stuff there. So we got that brand new. And here's the new shaft. And then they give you some other stuff there to put with it. But here's the new shaft. You just want to make sure this shaft and that shaft there is about exactly the same. So these bolts here out, we're going to bring this cover here the same way. We're going to knock this cover here and bring it straight out just like this. I done took out all 4 bolts on it as well. So we'll go ahead and take and tap it with a hammer just like the rest of them. It's coming off there. And this here's the same way too. Just to make sure that you keep track of how many you got, how many's on there, and just because that kind of gives you your, because you don't want to make it too tight, and then it'll just start eating the bearings up out of it. So just make sure we can keep track of that there. I done took this there's an O-ring on this back side that goes right down here where this cap is. You take this little Allen head out right here, and then there's an O-ring right behind it. So make sure you don't forget that stuff there too. And then we're about to have this thing all the way. Oh, damn it, I've got Euro going on both sides of it here. Trying to get over here where I can just dump it in this bucket the rest of the way. Because, I mean, we're going to clean this all up anyways and make it look nice and shiny. So we got to grind all the gaskets down and stuff anyways. So, let me go ahead and get a thing in and knock that straight out that way there. Find a socket. Should have a socket here that'll fit it. It's about this size here, ain't it? Nope, a little bit smaller. I think that's got it right there. Almost got it knocked through here. Okay. And then there's like a little snap ring, or there's like a little roll pin in there. That's what I'm hitting on now. I'm hitting on that little bit of a roll pin. So I'll take this right here, and I'll come back over here like this. Just tap it on the rest of the way out. And there's an O-ring on the end of this, guys. So don't be alarmed with that. Just take that O-ring there, and this should go freely. And then you take it all the way out, just like that there, and that's that shaft piece there. So we got that there, and then the gears are just pull this here out, and then all your gears will just come right out. just like that there. There is a washer. There's a big one that goes on this side, and then there's a little one. There's a little one here that goes on this other side here. Just like this here. It sets in there. It'll set in there just like that. There's the bigger one, here's the smaller one. We're gonna set this over here. There's that one. There's that bearing there. There's that bearing in that washer there. Just like that. Okay, so now that's how you take it apart. That's how you take it all the way completely apart there, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead now and get this thing all cleaned up, and we can start reassembling this. And I'll show you how it all goes back together. And but you can see that's just the bare bones pump there. Everything's completely gone. Everything's completely out of it now. And if you get kind of mixed up and you're like, oh shit, which way goes what way? There's a green gasket that goes right here, and then there's yellow ones that go right there. And then plus you got, I always just leave my gaskets on there until I get ready to go back to put this thing all the way back together. Just because, damn, it's like something cracked that right there. I don't know how to really, I'll take a look at that there. But once I get the housing and everything cleaned and get that, I'll get this bearing and all this stuff here back in there. There's this little row pin I was telling you about that there just knocks down in there, and that keeps it from coming this way. That's all that there's for. That you put that little nut there on there. There's a nut right here, and you put that little nut on there, and that little nut there, that's what keeps it from that pulls it this way once you get there, and that keeps it from walking back and forth. So we'll get all this. I'll get some cleaner. I'll clean this thing here all up really, really good, and then we'll start putting this thing back together. Alrighty guys, I got this shaft here lubed up with some oil. I got the bearing in here. I got it lubed up as well. And we'll go ahead and stick this on there. Just get your shaft about right there where it's at. Get that bearing into there. Nope, not that one. This bearing here. I better go ahead and put. I did it on that one there. I better do it on this one too. Just put a little bit of oil on there so you're not putting it in there all dried up and stuff. No, it washer ain't on that. Or yeah, you can just do it like that too, I guess. Get this back down inside there. Okay, now let's try this again. Okay, put that like that there. If I can get this. It is a tight fit. It is a tight fit to get this to go all the way up in there. Just kind of wiggle a little bit. It'll get up. It'll go up in there. Just kind of tap it up in there. Gotta see about how close it is in here. The bearing thing there is about where it needs to be at. Just we got to get it about like that there. And a lot of it too is, guys, is where it's a little bit dry still. But once it gets kind of where it needs to go at, it'll tap its way on in there. I think you gotta make sure, it might have to go back a little bit. And then just spin it. Spin it till it hits on that keyway, and then that O-ring, just make sure you got some oil on that O-ring there. But see, it's spinning nice and freely now. That's exactly what we're after. So, and then just go ahead and put, I'll try to turn right here so you guys can see there. Here's a little cap again. We'll grab the nut and put it on there. But don't forget this little O-ring that goes up inside here. Might have to sit it. Might have to sit it like that. And that just keeps it from leaking, is all it does. Better clean this off real quick. Just make sure that gets seated up in there really good. That should tighten itself on down in there. Take a ratchet here. Deal with the ratchet. It ain't gotta be super extremely tight, just enough to kind of just snug it up. Probably about, I don't know, I'm probably saying 30 foot-pounds on it, 20-30 foot-pounds of that. About more or less, I'd say around 20 or so. Put that there, it spinning nice and freely. Because that there is what spins inside the motor, you know. Okay, so we got that all cleaned up now. Got that sitting just like that there. I guess now we can go ahead and we'll start going and we can start putting the shaft together. So let me get everything set up here and we'll start putting that shaft together. Alrighty guys, I went ahead and I got the other bearing on the other side there, and just make sure that you get this where this is going the right way, and make sure you get your bearing on there. And like I said, what I did was once I was able to get it, I took this dead blow hammer and I hit it right around here. If you got the perfect size metal pipe, you can stick it right there and get it. As long as it gets grooved, as long as the back of this gets even with this here, you're fine. That there sits right there on that there, which the shaft is going to spin. The shaft is what spins anyways, and like I said, just rides on these bearings just like this right here. So once you get that there done, you'll this one right here, it'll come right off her. But don't forget your washer. Like I said, you put your washer on here just like this right here, just like that there, and then you go ahead and you'll sit. Oh, make sure I get this thing the right way. Just like that there. Both of these are going to go outer because it's just going to be sitting in there spinning on it, you know, just like this here as it goes. So make sure you get both in there. I got this piece of pipe here that fits perfect around that there, and we'll go ahead and knock this on down in there. So you hear that bottom out noise, just like that there. So now you know it's bottomed out. As long as this washer here is good and tight up against that there, you got it. So there's that piece there. That piece is all done, ready to go. Now we can go ahead and, I guess now we can go ahead and start assembling the rest of this, the rest of it here. We'll get this pulled around here, get you over here. I think I used like 30 cans of brake parts cleaner to clean this damn thing. We'll go ahead and get this set up here just like this here, and we got to make sure that we get it exactly where everything goes together pretty good. So we got to put our gaskets on there and all that stuff there. So right here's the yellow side's here, the green side's going to be over there as far as your your gaskets and that stuff there goes. I got to remember here which side is the back and which side is the front here, because you can get them mixed up. I'm telling you can damn sure get them mixed up. So we'll go ahead now and put this one cover here on there. And once we get this cover here, I got to put the gaskets on there, and then we'll get everything set up here, and then we'll start bolting all this stuff together. Alrighty guys, I got my gaskets and everything here all done. Put a little bit of oil. I put a little bit of oil inside this piece right here. I put that inside there, and then I just usually put a little tad bit on that right there. And then we can go ahead and start putting these in here. Takes these 4 bolts here. So, and just make sure that you get it to where it goes. It says up, and that's exactly what this right here is. And I'll tell you one thing that'll help you out a lot. That when I first start tearing these apart, is when I first start tearing these apart, just take a bunch of pictures of everything the way it sits. So if you take a bunch of pictures of it and stuff, then that'll kind of help you. That'll kind of help you out as far as how it goes. And we'll go in there just like that there. And the long one's going the other piece, and the other short one's going the other piece. So, and then like I said, just you can do this with the impact if you want to. I don't, because there is an O-ring in there. And you don't want to mess that O-ring up, so. And just keep running them in like that there. So we'll get this all tightened up, and should have it pretty good here. Just like that there. You don't have to put if you want to put silicone in this, guys, you can, but I don't, because there's a big O-ring, and that big O-ring is what seals everything up. So. There. I mean, if you want to, it doesn't matter, guys. You can tap this just like that to go in there, but I usually just take and I just usually tighten it up. And by tightening it up like that there, to me, that's what gets it in there. And then once you get it however you want to, you can just go ahead. Then you can take your impact and you can just go ahead and run them in now if you want. That way there, you got all this stuff here is good to go. And if you want to, you can kind of check them, but the impact there, and just make sure they're good and tight, in which these here are. So now we know we got this here. That's all good to go. And so now we can go ahead and start. We got to take and go ahead now and put the other piece on here. So let me go ahead and get it cleaned up and make sure I got all the gaskets. And I can show you guys here, because you got to put this piece here in. You've got to put the piece that goes up in here first, and then slide your rod up in there. I'm almost certain that's the way I took it apart. I'm trying to think here. It's been a while since I put one of this apart, but I'll take and like I'm gonna show you guys here on these shims. On the shims here, just count how many you got, and it's gonna come with a bunch of different ones. So I was like, all right, I got this really skinny one. I got these two here. You can mic them up if you want, but there's two of these right here, and there's one yellow one. There's two yellow ones, two of these little bitty skinny ones, and there's only two of these. Then there's two of these here. So there's two, and then there's one gasket that goes right there where the O-ring goes at. So just basically just put them back on there exactly how you had them. The green one was in the back, and then you had the metal one, and you got the green one in the back. You got the two skinny ones, the brown ones in there, and then you got a yellow one that goes on the end there. So let me go ahead and get the gasket for that there, because that one there I will put a little bit of sealer in there, not much, just a little bit. Okay guys, let's go ahead now and we'll get the shaft sitting down inside here, and just make sure you clean all this here up a little bit. Ew, damn, cut me. I like to put just a dab of oil on the end of the shaft here, just so it slides down inside this. Just so it slides down inside that little gasket. Just like that there. As long as it springs freely like that there. And then another thing you can do too is when you got it like this here, you can pick this here up to make sure your lash your whenever you go to put it into gear, it's going to fit right in there, because it can't go up here, because that's what's spinning the engine. So as long as it goes right there, and you check your backlash just to make sure, but these are the same gear, so I know we're good on that there. So that there is good on that part. We can go ahead now and we can spin that around like that, and then you can get up in here and like I said, just double check to make sure the gears are fitting in there perfect, in which they are. And then okay guys, on this here, they had this 180 out. They had this piece up on the top, and this says up. So this is supposed to be the same thing as the front. It's supposed to be up, unless somebody thinks something differently, but that's the way I've always put them. So that's the way I'm going to put this one here, up, facing upwards this way. Well, and this will be the only thing usually I'll put that liquid Teflon tape on, because okay, so I got them there tight, and just go ahead and spin it to make sure it's spinning really good. And it's going to be kind of a little bit dry, just because I don't have very much oil in them bearings. But once you put a little bit of oil in there, it'll be just fine. But as long as everything's spinning good, you ain't got no play or nothing like that in there, you'll be just fine on that. And then it's getting all the gear stuff in there starting to get heavy again now. And like I said, just make sure everything spins really good, which everything is spinning good. And just check all your, just check all your stuff in there, make sure everything's good to go. So all that's spinning good, everything's turning good. You don't hear no banging, no nothing like that there. And then like I said, guys, on this side over here, you can see this says over here too. It says up. Up is this way, just like I said here. Up is that way there, because that's bolting straight to the top of the transmission, just like this here. And then this side over here, this will be the side where it's underneath the transmissions on this side here. So let's go ahead now and we'll get this. I gotta get the gasket for it. I gotta get the gasket for this piece here. Get a little starting fluid here and clean this off. Clean it off real good because I've had oil and everything else down here. It's sticking to it. Clean it off real good just like that. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'll do this the same way. I'm just gonna put a little bit on there. Don't need a whole lot. This is more or less just an insurance policy for me, really. And like I said, I just put a little bit on there, nothing major. I'll go ahead and get the, I'll go ahead and try to set this up on here. All right, guys, I went ahead and put the gasket. When I put the gasket back on there, how it goes. And another way to make sure you can tell that this is exactly, and see how these right here are kind of flat. I don't know if you can see it or not. Maybe it got dirty on me. But anyways, I'll show in this other. See how this gear here is flat like this? That end there is where the two of them are going to go together. Just like this in here. This one that goes up in here, it's kind of smooth. The other side's flat. This in here the same way. This one's kind of smooth. And that just kind of helps it. That helps it get up inside there, to where it ain't all chewing up. There's one little bad spot on this gear here. Like I said, if I maybe could have replaced it, but I think it'll be just fine. Just one little bitty small section there. And we'll go ahead here now and try to get this thing here set. Set it up inside here. What I like to do is I like to put it in the lock position. Just about like that there. As long as the gasket's there, and then just kind of make sure this here, it'll find its way right on back down in there. And then just kind of ease it on over just like that there. If it slides down a little bit, that's fine. I gotta get the hose for it anyways. Go ahead and put these in here. These are kind of, the same way. I'll get one started here, just to kind of hold it in place, and then I'll put some of that. I'll put some of this Teflon tape stuff on there. This is kind of the only time I ever use the kind that's kind of like the liquidy kind, or not liquidy kind, but the kind you don't wrap around there, just because I don't really care for this stuff here. Just put a little bit on there just like that. Just keep going around. Keep getting around here. Just like that there. Actually put a little bit too much on that one there, but it'd be fine. I just don't want it to leak. Didn't like that there. I know it's not going to leak. I hope it don't leak anyways. Can't ever be too sure. Okay, there we go. Go ahead. Alrighty, guys. So I know they're not tight right now. I'm not gonna tighten them all the way down until I can make sure that this is gonna go. All right, sorry guys, it died on me there. I know I got to torque them. Like I said, I know I got to torque those bolts down, but I just want to make sure that it goes up in there, and it's, you know, it's spinning on there. It's spinning on there exactly the way that it should. You can, if you really want to, you can add air to these, and I've done that before, and I might do that. That's another thing too. You can hit air to this one, and that'll also make it, you know, go whichever way it's got to go. But just reach your hand up in there and make sure that it's doing exactly like it's supposed to be doing. And everything in there's flowing back and forth, because that's exactly what you want. You don't want it to not, you know, not engage. And it'll go back over there like that there, and then it'll just be running freely. Everything seems to be doing good. That's exactly the way we want it. And so we'll go back over here now. This side over here. And I'll hit these with the impact a little bit more. There, we know we got it. I'll just check it. Turn it up on its end here, just like this here. That'll kind of give me an idea about what, because we do got a gasket on there. Tight. We'll come in here. Get that one a little bit snug. Get that one a little bit snug. Get that one snug. Go back up here and try this one again. Make sure it's good. Yep, that one's good. That one's good. That one's good. That one's good. Good. Come back over here now. Just gonna kind of keep working them back and forward, so I know they're good to go. Okay, alrighty. So there we go, and that's it there. And then like I said, this model here, guys, this is what this is. I don't know if you can see it. I don't think you can, but that's the number on there. The number on the thing here says a 919 or R8R, but on the number itself here, it's an 880XHAHX-A3XS. And the serial number on this pump is a 4339. Is what the serial number is on this pump. Is a 4339. It says built by 49 and tested by 49. But if 49 built this, 49 didn't put the top thing, the upwards like it's supposed to be. So there you go again, guys. And like I said, just make sure you got your shim. This one don't call for shims, but this side over here does, and that kind of gives you your back and forth. And we get the new pump in there, new shaft. See this? It spins really, really good and freely. Before it was actually really, I couldn't even turn it with my hands before. But everything seems to be turning good. Everything feels nice and freely. So if anybody wants to learn how to rebuild one of these pumps, this here would be a good video, you know, to show you how it's done. And also, if there's a little hole right here too, if this seal ever blows and you got this right here will start leaking. And also, if the front seal on the pump blows out, it'll start leaking here. And if you got gear oil coming out, it'll be this. If you got hydraulic oil coming out of this hole, it will be the main pump itself. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I appreciate all the support. I think I finally got around 400 subscribers, and I really appreciate every one of them that get on there, subscribe to my channel, and everybody that watching my videos. So that being said, thanks again. Hopefully this will learn something. Hopefully this can teach somebody something, as far as having to rebuild one of these pumps. Thanks, or one of these PTO gearboxes. Sorry.